If you're like me, you might feel overwhelmed by the speed of our modern world, constantly chasing the next thing and feeling disconnected. We all want to build a beautiful future, live a rich, full life, and find those deep connections with people and nature. But last year, something happened that completely shifted my perspective. Just hours after learning my mother passed away, in a moment of profound loss and chaos, I was surprised to find my body and nervous system responding to beauty. Even when everything felt broken, beauty still mattered. In this video, I'm going to share some of the moments from the past year where the awe and wonder I felt at the observation of beauty in both nature and in art helped me work through grief and reinforce my belief that beauty isn't just a luxury. It's a fundamental human need, a source of stillness and hope, even in our darkest moments. In the first moments after learning my mom died, I was in complete shock. It was completely unexpected. It was as if I was an unanchored ship that was lost in a stormy sea, and I felt disoriented, confused. I felt numb and had an overwhelming sense of disbelief at any of this. And it really was feeling like you're stepping out of the reality that you know, that you have comprehension of, into some strange, weird, new reality. And still today, it feels like I'm living in a really strange dream that's unfamiliar to me. And I have this memory of being in my home just hours after I'd learned this news, and instinct just took over and my feet found their way to the window where I so often went on a daily basis. And I looked out the window into nature and down at this water that flows by my house. It was a very fleeting moment, but it was the one thing that made me feel soothed. And as my eyes fixed on the water flowing by, it acted like a sort of bridge, connecting me back to something that made sense, something solid. And my heart rate went down, my nervous system calmed. I remember taking a mental note of that experience and that, wow, in this moment, beauty still exists, it's still here, it's still something that can support me. And even in this moment where I'm completely lost, being able to observe something in nature and still be moved in that state, for me was like as if a veil had been dropped and I was able to see the truth that I always hoped was true and always believed was true, but never really experienced it in times of deep suffering. And that is that beauty exists outside of us. It exists outside of me. It's an objective thing. And to me, this felt like proof that that theory was true. In those first days and in those first weeks, it was difficult to let it help me for more than just like fleeting moments, but it still was significant. And another memory that really stuck with me was I went by myself to the beach. And it was a beach where my family often went over the years. Ever since I was a little girl, we would go and have wonderful memories together. I sat down in a quiet place and watched the sun go down. And in that moment, I was overcome by this awe of not only the beauty in front of me, but this realization that this same sun went over us in times of such joy and such peace in those golden days of my beautiful childhood. And now the same sun is shining over me in times of deep sorrow and grief like this. And to me, that was a sign that beauty is constant. It's never changing. It's always this thing that is there for us to tap into when we need it. And it's there whether we're having good times or we're having bad times. It wasn't long before I started to crave seeing art, looking at art. And so my dad brought me to see my old friends, which I call the paintings at the museums. As I walked through these galleries and observed these paintings, I thought about how a lot of these artists lived in different times where they experienced loss a lot more frequently than we do today. They lost children more frequently, and people died a lot younger than they do now. And so they likely experienced great loss and great suffering in their lives. And that made me feel less alone and more understood when I looked at these paintings. And it also inspired me because, these people, these artists went through wars, they went through plagues, they went through losing multiple children, and yet they still persevered, and they picked themselves up, and they carried on, and they painted these beautiful works of art that we can cherish and enjoy hundreds of years later. And so it reiterated the belief that I had that painting is forever. Art is forever, especially when it's really good quality and painted from the heart. I think whenever it represents something true that we all experience, it really is something that points to something higher. It points to something greater than all of us, while also uniting us all and in all of our human experiences, however varied and different they may be. When you're experiencing them, you might feel so alone, like no one will ever understand what you're going through. Yet 100 years ago, somebody experienced it to the same degree that you did. But at the same time, everybody experiences these things different. It can be difficult to relate to people around you at times, but knowing that it's a human experience that at one point or another we all go through, and looking at art can sometimes give you that different perspective that might be needed. And while I was at the museum, I was wandering through a gallery, and I noticed something new that I had never seen before, and that was a sculpture by Rodin of a mother and child in a grotto. The maternal love and safety and tenderness that one sculpture portrayed was so moving to me. And it made me feel many things, of course. It made me miss my mother, but it also helped me reflect on the relationship that I had with her as a child and as an adult, and really made me feel so much gratitude of how much she had given me. And I just feel so lucky that I was able to have her, specifically her as a mother. It really is amazing to me that I got that lucky. She really was a special person. It made me realize of this transition I'm now going through, where my own mother has passed, and now I have to become something new. I have to step into the rest of my life, and if it's meant to be, I can carry on what my mother taught me with my own children. And so I took a picture of the Rodin sculpture, and when I got home, I got all cozy in a little corner with a cup of tea, and I drew a sketch of it. Sitting down and doing a sketch like that really was super helpful, because occupying my mind with the problem solving that's involved in creating a drawing, like setting the height, setting the width, mapping out the light and dark, getting the proportions, all of that, it occupied my mind. But I'm not saying that I was trying to distract myself from feeling what I was feeling. More, it was a way to, like, you're in this really thick fog and you need to figure out a way to feel your way through and get to some kind of piece of safety. And to me, doing an activity like drawing, because it's something that I do in my life, it's my passion, it's drawing and painting, it really made me feel more grounded, and it brought me a lot of stillness, and again calmed my nervous system. So I wanted to let you know something I'm really excited about. I'm going to be offering a limited number of prints of this drawing really soon, and it's only going to be available to my email subscribers. So if you would like to be the first to be notified and the first to act, there's only a limited number available. So be sure to click the link down below and get yourself on my priority list. For me, the appreciation of beauty and noticing the natural world around me has really helped ground me. It helps me comprehend this new phase. My mom really influenced my art greatly. You know, so much of my identity was attached to her and her beliefs, her values, because she was my role model. And she was also my best friend. Whenever I found an artist that I really liked online, I would share the account with her and she would follow them too. She would even buy their books and read them. If I liked a YouTube channel, she would also watch those, and we would get together on the phone and talk about them. And we had a lot of the same interests, and whatever I was into, she wanted to know about it and read up on it and be excited about it too. And she was the first person that I wanted to show my artwork to, the first person I wanted feedback from, and the feedback wasn't always what I wanted to hear, but it was helpful nonetheless. It made me want to be better and do better and reach higher heights. And she was always rooting for me. She's a really good, really big part of my whole process of creating. So it was pretty difficult, is pretty difficult to figure out how to do it all now, how to do it all differently. And so it's taken me quite a while to be able to articulate these thoughts at all. I've done a few takes of this video, and who knows if I'll even use this one, but I hope that maybe this might resonate and be relatable to somebody out there who is really experiencing hardship, loss, disappointment, change, whatever it is. And I'm not saying that beauty erased my grief, because I still feel every day I think of her, and every day I still think, how can this be? How can this be real? What I am saying is that having a practice, having a openness to observing beauty is very helpful to me and might be helpful to you as well. If you want to find more inspiration on how to incorporate beauty in your everyday mundane tasks, I know you'll enjoy this next video that's coming up. It's right below. All you have to do is click it. Again, sign up for my email newsletter so that you can be the first to learn about prints of this drawing coming up really soon. Other than that, I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much for joining me.